Alright guys, Tush coming at you Thursday, July the 13th. And head over to the calendar. Apparently I've stopped marking the days. Anyway, back on the Sill today. And as you recall, we left off, we just sort of cut out most of the old bits. And we were left with the A pillar and the B pillar, or the A post and B post, still attached roughly. I've got to drill out a bunch of spot welds or grind away some of this foot section here to be able to detach it from the inner sill on the A post. On the B post I need to do some more work here, but I also need to do some work here at the back of it to detach the post here at the back. So this is sort of a free-floating foot as well. So the other thing I needed to do was to get rid of the rest of this flange at the front here. I've ground off the center section, but we're going to grind off the rest of it. And there's a little bit of an area at the front here that I need to clean up where it attaches to the inner sill as well. So I'm going to clean up those areas, and by the end of the day we're hoping to be able to fit the new sill there just to have a look and see where we're at. So basically all of this work I'm doing to detach these areas and make them free floating is to be able to get the top flange to slide up in behind and attach to the inner sill. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We'll come back when we make some progress. Okay, so here's what we're going to do on the A post. You can see I've drilled out the spot welds, or what I can see look like spot welds. There's a lot of damage on this flange, or this foot, whatever you want to call it, including up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this area, probably up to about here and across. And I think what we'll do is we'll leave the outside of the foot and we'll just cut a little section out as best we can. And then we'll fabricate a new section using the shrinker to shrink this corner with the new flange on it. So that's the plan anyway. So we'll get this area out of here and we'll grind all this ugly stuff off the inner sill and get it ready for a new patch to be put in there. So that's the plan. So let's see how we can accomplish that. Alright guys, so we've cut this A pillar back. We've removed this outer plate here. And you can see it's pretty rusty on the inside, and it's actually got, I guess you can't see, anyway, it's got a bunch of pinholes on it. I also removed this other little piece in here, which sort of fits back in here, so I could actually get to this flange here and grind off all this excess stuff that I don't need off of the inner sill. So we're going to clean this area up. I thought I'd just give you a quick look at that before we go ahead and start grinding. So we're under the B post of the car, and I'm just working on the area now to sort of separate the inner flange here and up here to the outer sill. Now I'm hoping that this plate along the bottom of the B post is part of the original sill. It's been, if it is, it's been brazed in there pretty solidly, so I don't know how I'm going to get it out. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break this flange here. I know I need to cut this little piece out here at the back, so I'm pretty confident this comes out. I'm just hoping that this piece doesn't stay on the bottom of this foot and then sit on top of this sill. So I'm pretty sure it's got to come out, so hopefully I'm doing the right thing, because I don't have another B post to compare it to, but I believe the B post shouldn't have this piece on the bottom. Anyway, we're gonna attempt to take it out. Alright guys, we've gone ahead and taken the bottom of the B post off as well. Now I'm not sure whether this is the original metal and they've just sort of scabbed a piece over it. It does have some weird brazing on here, so and some strange cutting. So I'm not sure if that might be the original flange, because this metal on here looks pretty new on the back. So I have a feeling that this was just a piece scabbed over top of the old piece. I could be wrong, but that's what I think it looks like. Anyway, you can see the bottom of the old sill, outer sill there, attached to the new piece of metal. So you can see different layers of scabbed in metal there. So again, it's sometimes hard to figure out what was original to the car and what was repaired previously, but that's my assumption anyway. So one more little area to clean up is this area back here to take off the end cap, and there's a little flange piece here. So we're going to carefully remove that from the bottom of the B post as well. Alright guys, we've got the sill just sort of dry fitted in place, well, relatively close to where it's supposed to be anyway, I think. So we haven't done any checking with fenders or doors or anything, it's just sitting there just clamped. It does look like in the position it's currently in, which I think is fairly close to where it's supposed to be based on where the top flange of the where the door is. And the rear fastening point, which I've sort of kept intact, looks like the bottom flange of the floor is too short to meet the sill, so that would lead me to believe that the sill needs to move up further. But anyway, like I said, too early to make those kind of judgments on fitment when I haven't done anything yet except just tack it up there with some vice grips. Anyway, we'll come back when we get some more progress. Raining again. What's the odds of that? Seems we got rain 75% of the days this year. Anyway, we're going to put the door on just for fun to see how we're doing. This will be the first of about 500 times putting the door on and off, I'm sure. Anyway, we just got one little tech screw in the front here holding the sill up, and we just got some clamps on the bottom, so it's not in there real well, but it'll give us an idea how close we are as far as the door fitment is concerned. So I'm going to lift that up and balance it on my knees, and probably be a good idea for me to take all the paneling off, but I don't feel like doing that right now. Alright guys, we've decided to go ahead and strip the door internal. Since this is going to have to be stripped anyway, I might as well go and do it now versus trying to hold that door up and put the hinges on with the glass and all the track work and all that stuff, etc. Makes the door extremely heavy. You'd be surprised how heavy these doors are. So I'm going to go ahead and disassemble all the door components and remove them. So we'll just be left in the end with a door shell, which will be significantly lighter. So you can see it's got the factory plastic still applied in here. So I don't think too many people have been inside these doors. They look at first glance okay on the door bottoms. There's some surface rust here. It looks like it's had a bit of work in the corners, but it doesn't look too bad, so that might be a positive thing. Anyway, we'll have a look further along once we get all the internals out of the door. Alright guys, just a quick update for you. Just coming up to 8 p.m. and we have that sill in place now, and it actually looks pretty good as a first trial fit. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this or not, but this is without doing any adjustment whatsoever, just screwing the hinges in, and the gaps are pretty good at the bottom already, fairly consistent all the way across. The best thing is that the sill, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, fits much better than the old one. It's equal distance from the back and the front. It doesn't have the twist in it, and it looks like it's in the right location. So let me take a look from this way. Again, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but I think that's actually looking pretty good. So the next thing for us to do is to play around with the fender fitment a little bit. And the only thing I'm concerned about is on the rear fender, we've got a repair section welded in here already in this area. And on the front fender, we have quite a bit of rot down the bottom to deal with. So I'm almost thinking that I need to repair these fenders first by actually using them as a fitment guide. Although I think there might be enough structure in the front fender left to be able to determine whether that's going to work or not. And the rear, like I said, there's a patch put in here, and this mount location is in the wrong spot, but I might be able to use it just to figure out how we're doing as far as fit is concerned. Anyway, just thought I'd give you a quick update. You can see it that way. If anything, the rear of the sill is out a little bit, but it's not bad actually. That's actually something I could live with. If it fit like that and the fenders fit, I'd be okay with that. Anyway, we'll come back in a bit. I'm going to see if I can actually mount the fenders I got to find some hardware to do that. It's in a bin somewhere in the trailer. So anyway, oh yeah, one more update. Let me just unclip the pliers here. So I'd mentioned that we were emptying the door of its contents. So the door has now been stripped bare, with the exception of the latch mechanism. So all the glass is out, all the door hardware is out and needs to be refurbished. So we've got that out. We've got the trim strips are out. The striker plate, latches, all that kind of stuff are out and bagged and tagged. So there you go. So that's pretty much ready to go with the exception of that lever. And the door looks to be in pretty good shape actually. The bottoms look fairly solid. So I think we're okay with the doors. Anyway, we'll see if we can fit some fenders. So one of the good things about keeping a journal is you're able to find the parts that you need a little more quickly. So right now I'm looking for the hardware for the front fender, driver's side. So I know it's in bag 91. I know it was taken off on Saturday, April the 8th. I do have my bins marked in the trailer. So what I'm going to go look for is my bin that's got the bags marked on it, and I should be able to find my front and rear fender hardware, which is in bag 93. So anyway, another good benefit of keeping a journal. Alright guys, just coming up to 9:15, and we've got the rear and the new steel front fender mounted, and it doesn't really fit any better at the front with the new sill. The back's not bad, could be better. Like I said, there's been a replacement patch welded in there on the bottom of that fender, so I think that's affecting some of the fit there. But it's definitely better than the front. The front still has quite the far stick out on it, so that will need some work. What I think I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm just going to take the passenger side sill and the passenger side fender and see if I can actually get the fender to lay flat against just the sill by putting it up. See if the actual pocket of the fender matches the contour of the sill. That'll probably be a good test. So I think I'll do that tomorrow just to make sure that the fender will actually fit in the area that it's supposed to. That'll be a good start anyway. So anyway, gaps are pretty wide on the front there, but at least they're fairly normal, like from the top to bottom, or fairly the same from top to bottom. And the gaps at the back are pretty much the same. You know, you can't really see that, but the gaps are pretty much the same from top to bottom, so that's not too bad either. Anyway, needs a lot of work on this area. Like I said, I'm happier with the sill fitment and stick out below the door. That seems to be much better now, but I believe the sill needs to go forward to the front of the car by probably about a quarter to a half an inch as well, to give a little bit more clearance for the rear fender in the pocket. And it could probably stand to move forward a little bit to the front fender. So anyway, we've got a long time ahead of us to adjust all of these gaps and get them to where we're happy. And I understand that the fender's going to be on and off a million times, doors are going to be off, sills eventually would be tacked in place and before they're all welded solid, but we'll get there eventually. It's just going to take a lot of time and a lot of patience. Anyway, I think we're going to be done for tonight. So I know it's not a long video tonight, but we'll upload this just to see where you can see where I'm at, and then we'll probably get back out here either tomorrow or the next day to play around some more. Like I said, I think the next thing I'm going to do is just play around with the sill, not fitted sill, and the passenger side front fender to see if they actually will match together off the car. Alright guys, that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching.